Bundele, save. Bundele, save. Doesn't that just say bundle and save? Welcome back to the First and Gold podcast. I'm your host, Sam Gold, and today we have a big video for you guys. Predicting the divisional round of the 2024-25 NFL playoffs. This is big. Oh boy, a lot of people say this is the best weekend in football because, the wild card is fun. There's a lot of games, but that's when you kind of weed out the teams that are frauds. Championship's great and all, but there's only 2 games. But this one has a select 4 games, and all the teams you feel like are Super Bowl contenders. It's very competitive, so this is going to be a lot of fun. Before we get into that, we're going to do what we do every week. Shout out on last week's video. You guys commented down your bold predictions for the wild card round. So this time we have a tie between 2 people. Let's say the first one. Shout out Brock P. Fan, 13. Bold prediction, Texans score more than 20 points. Now, I have to shout you out because, yes, that was obviously correct. But 20 points, come on. Is it that bold to predict a team with C.J. Stroud to score more than 20? I'm not sure, but I got to shout you out just because it was right. And then the other bold prediction, shout out High Spired Productions, 28-45. Bold predicky, Vikings lose by 22. So they lost by 18. That was pretty close. I commented, wow, with this emoji. I'm such an NPC, aren't I? But listen, I said wow because I didn't think the Vikings were going to get blown out that bad, and it was pretty close. So shout out High Spired. Yeah, I'm sorry for Vikings fans. I don't want to talk about you guys too much because it's probably sad to hear. Anyways, let's move on. If you guys want to get pinned and shout it out on next week's episode, comment down below your bold prediction for the divisional round. And if you get it really close, you're going to hear your name out of my mouth and orifice. So there you go. All right. I don't know why I said it like that, but let's move on to the first divisional game. Who would have thought the Texans playing another Saturday 4:30 affair in Kansas City? Oh man, this is like the first real meaningful game I've had to talk about for the Chiefs since Christmas. It's a little scary. This is the point of the season where you're going to see me start to get a little nervous. I'm going to be questioning everything that I just watched the whole entire regular season. I'm not going to be as confident as most Chiefs fans because I hate being too confident. And I think the fact right now that a lot of Chiefs fans are like 100% confident we're winning this game online scares the shit out of me. I don't like ever being like that because I'm sure as hell not giving my hopes up. We can win 10 Super Bowls in a row, and I'm always going to be like this in the playoffs. It's just how I am. It's how I've always been. And look, it's just my favorite team, so I'm always going to be nervous. With that being said, I think this game is pretty similar to Chiefs-Jaguars from a couple years ago, where I do think the Chiefs are going to end up winning if, barring no... The only thing I don't think is going to be similar, hopefully, is Mahomes gets his ankle hurt, just like in that game. But in terms of, we're going to pretty much control the game for the most part, but not control in a way where it's like a blowout the whole time. I think it'll end up being a one-score game, kind of similar to Chiefs-Texans a few weeks ago when we played them. We won 27-19. I just can't picture Mahomes and the whole crew, and after all the prep that they've had for the last 3 or so weeks, the fact that they're chasing something nobody has ever done before in the three-peat. If you're just going to throw that all away at home after so much rest against the Texans, then you did not deserve to ever have the chance to three-peat. That's just kind of my opinion. I know that's kind of disrespectful to the Texans, but if you're looking at it from a Chiefs perspective, they got one sight in mind, and everybody's trying to knock them down doing that. And look, do I think they can come out rusty in the first quarter or even the first half? Sure, absolutely. I mean, they haven't played since Christmas. But this is the point in the season where I am fully expecting Andy Reid to come out with a much better game plan that they've had for most of the season, because most of the regular season, it feels like they've just been kind of vanilla. And they're like, yeah, we'll have close games all the time, but as long as we just figure out little ways to win at the end, we're fine. Okay, whatever. But no, this is the playoffs. I don't care if it's the Texans. I don't care if it's a divisional round. This is a very, very important game for the whole history of the Chiefs franchise. I'm not joking with you, because if you want to actually go out and do something no one's done before, you are not taking any game lightly. The Texans have a very good defense. CJ Stroud has a lot more confidence now. He just came off of his second career playoff win. I am not scoffing at the Texans at all. They're going to bring their A game. So you need to go out and finally prove to us that, yes, now that we have pretty much all of our offensive weapons healthy, other than Rice, of course, you need to go out and figure out a good game plan to get the ball out of Mahomes' hands quickly into open receivers' hands and just take care of business on offense. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, I'm very happy because Jalen Watson is finally coming back. I didn't know if he was going to come back for the playoffs. That is absolutely huge to have him on the opposite side of Trent McDuffie as the CB2. Chris Jones is healthy. Hopefully he brings it this playoffs. He's been very good in the playoffs the last couple of years after starting his career kind of whatever. So I'm expecting him to be solid. We have Charles Omenihu healthy now. Our linebackers are healthy. So overall, I expect this team to come out and not be amazing, because obviously we had a lot of rest, but you got to just play solid enough where you got to take care of business at home and really try to fit your goal. You're 3 games away. You're 3 games away, guys, from making history. And I'm trying to look at this as objectively as possible. If you're asking for my personal, emotional opinion, I'm scared shitless. I mean, you're going to see me. If anybody's going to watch that playoff game on Saturday, I'm going to be standing the entire time. I don't care who we're playing. We could play the freaking the Patriots on Saturday. I'm going to be very, very nervous. So they got to take this game seriously. I expect it to be a somewhat close game where the Chiefs come out on top. So I'm going to pick the Chiefs to beat the Texans and move to their 7th straight AFC championship. Let's go. What do I want the final score to be? I think they're going to put up a decent amount of points. I don't think they're going to just shy away. So I'm going to pick them to win 27-20. And yeah, the same exact score that the Chiefs-Jaguars game had 2 years ago. So there you go. Let's hope for the best. That would be pretty crazy after all the success the Chiefs have had over the last 5-6 years to finally have a 15-1 season. Well, 15-2 technically. Have the 1 seed going for a 3-peat just to lose for the first time in Mahomes' career in the divisional round. I'd be pretty shocked. So there you go. I'm going to pick it 27-20. Let's move on to the Saturday night game. The other 1 seed that has had some breaks and is finally playing. It's the Lions against the Commanders. What a matchup. I mean, who would have thought just a few years ago, if you're telling us that a divisional round matchup would be in Detroit, Lions-Commanders. So that's pretty fun. It's another one of those situations where I'm pretty happy for both teams, whoever ends up winning. But as a Chiefs fan, I don't want to see the Lions in the Super Bowl if we're lucky enough to make it there. So yes, I am rooting for the Commanders to win this game. Now, does Jaden Daniels have it in him to go into Tampa, lead a game-winning drive, win that game, and then follow that up against the Lions, who they haven't played yet? That's a huge thing for both sides. The Lions haven't looked at too much film on Jaden Daniels yet this season, and Jaden Daniels doesn't really know what to expect against the Lions, which is another thing. And the Lions are only getting healthier on defense. So that makes for a very interesting matchup between that offense and that defense. As much as I think Jaden Daniels can still go out there and make very special plays, I can't, just kind of like with the Chiefs, I can't see the Lions just giving away such a great season right away in the divisional round at home, getting people back healthier. So as much as I'm rooting for the Commanders, I'll make it a 1-score game as well, because why not? But I'm going to pick the Lions to win this game. And I think there's going to be points put up. I'm going to pick the Lions to win it 31-23, which I believe was the score of Lions-Bucks last year in the divisional round. So expect a similar game like that. All right, we have Sunday at 3:30, kind of a weird schedule there, but we have the Eagles hosting the Rams, and this is a weird matchup to me because I don't know. I don't know why I didn't ever expect this to be a game in the playoffs this year. It's just, I'm not like prepped to talk about this. I don't know why. It makes no sense. But here's the thing. I'm not backing down from a good upset alert. And here we are with a perfect platter in front of us. I'm sure Mullet Daddy is going to be ripping his mullet out of his hair, angry. But you know what? I'm picking the Rams. And I'm sure I'm going to end up being wrong because Saquon Barkley had like 700 yards against the Rams in the regular season. The Rams are finally coming off a very motivated, nice home playoff win. And now they're going into Philly in a tough environment. And Cooper Kupp hasn't really been that good lately. And their defense is obviously not as good as the Eagles' defense. So all these things I'm explaining are purely why the Eagles should win this game. But you know what? I don't like the Eagles that much, and I'm just going to root for the Rams. And even though I'm probably going to be wrong, and the Eagles are going to go out, and Jalen Hurts is going to play a lot better, this is my upset alert, because we need one upset alert, and I like the Rams and Matt Stafford one last time, maybe even riding into the sunset, and I want a Lions-Rams championship game. I think that would just be great for cinema, and that's why I'm picking this as my upset alert. Also, my uniform matchup of the week. So I'm going to pick the Rams to win this game 22-20 in just a weird stinker where you just don't expect Jalen Hurts to play as bad as he did, and the Rams pass rush keeps playing really well, and Sean McVay outcoaches Nick Sirianni. And yeah, I don't know. It's just a gut feeling. It's just what I want to happen. I'll probably be wrong. I'll have so many Eagles fans in my mentions being pissed at me. But here we are. This is what makes the playoffs great. Anything can happen, and I'm rooting for that. So there we go. All right, and here we go. The game of the weekend, possibly the game of the year, the matchup we've all been waiting for. Ravens at Bills. This feels similar to when the Chiefs played the Bills a few years ago in the divisional round. There's so much hype leading up to this. Both teams have had such great seasons, and that's what makes it so heartbreaking come playoff time. It's absolutely ruthless. The fact that one of these quarterbacks and one of these teams is going home, not even with a chance to get to the Super Bowl, is crazy. Both MVP candidates, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, having the best years of their lives right now. But that's what makes for such a great matchup. So here we go, the moment we've all been waiting for. Who does me, a Chiefs fan, think is going to win this game? Now, if you look at the matchup itself, you're looking at Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry against this Bills defense. The Bills are middle of the pack in running defense. They're bottom of the league in passing defense. You're looking at Josh Allen against the Ravens. The Ravens are top class run defense, middle of the pack passing defense. So right there, it already kind of feels like the Ravens have the edge. Now, the Bills are at home. Josh Allen usually plays much better in the playoffs individually than Lamar Jackson does, but Lamar Jackson also didn't have Derrick Henry prior to this season. So that also makes for an interesting quip. Also, the Ravens beat the Bills earlier on in the season, 35-10. So there's a lot to think about here. It's back and forth. I truly, truly think it's a coin flip. And that's why, first of all, it's going to be my unlock of the week. And second of all, purely as a Chiefs fan, I would rather play the Ravens, even though both teams scare the shit out of me. And for one reason and one reason only. I truly don't remember the last time Josh Allen has had a bad game against the Chiefs, even in the playoffs. And that really, really scares me. And the Bills' one weakness is their passing defense. And the Chiefs are the one team this year that has a great record, but really can't stretch the field at all. So I feel like matchup-wise, the Bills actually might have us beat just by a little bit. The Ravens, in fact, the Chiefs have a great running defense. And as great as Derrick Henry is, I feel very confident in Steve Spagnuolo to find a way to stop him. His pass rushes are unstoppable. Lamar always turtles up, especially against the Chiefs in the playoffs. So that being said, I would rather see the Ravens, even though they're probably at their scariest they've ever been. And I'm going to pick the Ravens. It's really tough. I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills won. I'm going to give the slight edge to, oh God, it's just crazy just because both teams are so hungry this year and the Bills are at home. But unfortunately, as crazy as it sounds, I'm picking the Bills to just be out in the divisional round once again, ending another great season in heartbreaking fashion. It's going to be close. It's going to be a fun game. And I'm picking the Ravens 27-24 on a game-winning field goal by Justin Tucker. There you go. Wow, that is going to be... Whoo! I mean, look... Especially if the Chiefs, I know I was talking like the Chiefs have already won their game and like who do I want to face, but I do have to look ahead. If you're really, look, the big picture for the Chiefs is the Super Bowl. So in that fashion, I got to look ahead just a little bit. But in general, as a Chiefs fan, How amazing will it be if the Chiefs really do go out there and beat the Texans, and then I just get to sit back, relax, watch the rest of the games, especially the Bills-Ravens game. I mean, that's just going to be really crazy to watch those teams just beat each other up, and we'll see what happens. But, yep, picking the Ravens. We'll see what happens. It's going to be crazy. But, yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy one of the best weekends of football because I know I'm going to, hopefully. But, yeah, that's it. Don't forget to comment down below your bold prediction for this week of the NFL. That was a lot of fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Follow us at TikTok and Twitter at First and Gold. I've been Sam Gold. Go Chiefs. Best of luck. Let's get to the AFC Championship game. Here we go. Goodbye, everybody. Take care.